Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Grounded. My name is Brian Boyd. Today's topic is the lessons of God. Before we dive into this episode, I would love to thank everyone for tuning in and to wish you all a Merry Christmas. I truly pray that God will keep you all safe throughout this holiday and that He will make 2022 one of the best years of your life. And then on the opposite end, that He will draw closer to you and have a better relationship with you as a father does for his children. But with that being said, everyone, let's talk about the topic titled The Lessons of God. And this is something, it's going to be a little free form. It's going to be a little off script, but then it's also going to be sort of kind of structured. Because when you look at God as a whole and you look at the relationship that we have with Him as believers, there are so many things to take into aspects because there are multiple aspects of who God is. And when you look at life, one of His responsibilities as a father is to teach us and show us how to live this life that we have. And that's actually where all of the laws and the commandments and stuff originated from. You know, they were not created to keep us bound to anything. They were never created to force us to live a certain life. But this was a father and a judge giving his children the things that they should live by so that they can have the best lives possible. And when you look at religion as a whole in that way and you take out the constructs of restraining us, then you're truly able to appreciate God and understand that even when it comes to like our regular relationships, that these are just boundaries that He set. The same way that we set boundaries with the people around us. You know, there are things that we like, there are things that we don't like, and it's because we love and care about those people that we end up doing those things. But it also works in our favor for the most part, as I said once again, because not only does it allow us to have a deeper relationship with God, but on the opposite end, it also allows us to learn how to live the best lives that we have. And that goes back to Psalm chapter 32, verse 8, because in this, David talks about how God teaches us and He instructs us and He shows us how to live life as a whole. And He helps us to live the best life that we can. And it simply says here, once again, in Psalm 32, 8, that I will teach you and instruct you in the way that you should go. I will counsel you with my eye upon you. And while David is the author of this psalm, he's speaking as God is speaking to him. And he's saying that God will teach us and show us how to live our lives once again. And this is important to understand because when you're in this thing called life, there are going to be things that come up in our ways. There are going to be a lot of stuff that we do know, a lot of things that we're comfortable with. And then on the opposing end, there are going to be things that we're completely unfamiliar with. There are going to be things that we don't know. There are going to be situations that are going to fall on us unexpectedly, and we're going to have to be able to deal with those situations. But the beautiful thing about that is that when we're in those situations, because of the relationship that we have with God, He will teach us and show us the things that we should do. You know, case in point, even when it comes to taking on new endeavors in life or starting new businesses and stuff like that, you know, one of the things that I've dealt with personally was that God will tell me what books and stuff to read. He'll lead and direct me to certain people to go to and ask for advice. He will show me different ways and methods of doing different things, and even things when it comes as far as innovation. There have been many ideas that I've come up with, and a lot of ideas I'm going to be using next year, you know, that will not only benefit me as a person, but will also empower hundreds, if not thousands of other people in the near future. And all of those things come simply by having a relationship with God. But it even goes even beyond like the larger stuff. It comes down to even some of the smallest details of your life, because there have been times even with health and stuff like that, that God has told me purposely to avoid certain foods. He's told me not to go to certain places. He's told me not to eat certain things. And then on the opposite end, He's told me things to eat. When it comes to fitness, there are certain exercises that I can and can't do. There are exercises that I need to strengthen my body, and there are other exercises that I simply can't do, and God will even direct you on that level. Even when it comes to just going outside in the morning and trying to figure out where it is that you're supposed to go. You know, God will even direct you in traffic, man, because there have been many accidents and stuff that I have avoided on the interstate, you know, going the way that God told me to go. And then I'll end up seeing this stuff after I done got to where I was supposed to be. It was like, man, it was an accident on that thing. That's crazy. But anyway, y'all, kind of going here, there, whatever. But what I'm really trying to say is, to sum up, I guess, this point or whatever, is that when you have a relationship with God, it's just more or less like having a relationship with somebody else here, you know, whether that's a friend, whether that's a significant other, whether that's somebody in your family or whatever. You know, by having those relationships with them, they're able to talk with you and teach you and show you things that you may not have known. And it is because of that connection that you have established with that person that you're able to navigate life better than you would have if you tried to do things on your own. And that's what's so critical and so foundational about having a relationship with God, because God created each and every one of us. He created the heavens and the earth. There's nothing that he does not know. There's nothing that we create that he doesn't have knowledge of. And it is because he has that knowledge and that understanding and that wisdom that we're able to draw on him and reach to him when we can't go to anyone else, and he will direct us and show us the way that we should go. I can't tell you just how many times where I've had situations and things that fell on me, whether that was professionally or personally, that I did not know how to get out of. But it's only through prayer and talking to God that he revealed to me and gave me answers and things to solve my problems. And one of the things that even comes to mind now is the situation I had at work. And this is about a couple of years ago. I had a situation. So for those who don't know, I got to preface the conversation. I used to work I still work as a software engineer. One of the things that happens is there are always problems and stuff that happens with our software and our systems and our apps and stuff like that we basically have to figure out how to fix. And when they happen on my job, in that particular instance, I had no idea how to do the stuff. So I had went out there, went on my walk, started praying to God. He gave me an answer. And then I was able to put that thing together. But the funny thing about it was that 6 months later, I went back to the same situation. I went back to the thing that I created, and I couldn't even understand the stuff that I did. I just know that the stuff worked. But I say all that to say is that in those times, God will, even in that moment, he'll give you the things that you need, even if you don't understand how the stuff operates in the future. But that's one of the benefits of having a relationship with him as a whole, because there are going to be things that he's going to give you that you don't know is going to necessarily work, but it ends up fitting right there. It's just like the pieces of a puzzle. And it's by having that understanding and that relationship and that trust in him that you're able to do things that may have been otherwise impossible. Moving forward, though, one of the other things that I want to say, Adam goes back to the end of this verse where it says that he will counsel you and keep his eyes on you. And this is basically saying that no matter where it is that you go, no matter what it is that you're doing, God will always be able to give you insight, and he will always watch over you when things happen. And then we can go with him any time of the day. There's not one time or moment where God isn't always available. And it is because of this that he's able to intricately tell us how to get through situations in our lives. It's through this that he's able to counsel us and show us the things that we should do. It's through this relationship that we're able to engage with other people. We're able to build relationships. We're able to create ideas. We're able to go on endeavors that he's calling us to do, because he has his intricate knowledge of us. And even as the Bible says, the very hairs on our head are numbered. And that means that even the smallest strand, the hairs that fall off, has been numbered. And God just has that level of detail about us in our lives. And it's because of that detail and because of that knowledge and understanding that, once again, he can lead us and guide us and show us the things that we're supposed to do. And I guess more or less, y'all, this is really just an appreciation episode. Like I said, it is a Christmas episode, and I'm just truly thankful, man, for everything that God has done. I'm thankful for each and every person that has tuned in to hear as well, and if I could give you or leave you all with anything, it's just to really take the time to know who God is. Like I said, Grounded isn't always like a super spiritual podcast, but I just been reflecting over the past couple of weeks, and these are the things that kind of came to my mind and came to my heart, especially as we go into the new year, because there are going to be things that we're all going to encounter in life, as I mentioned earlier in this episode, that we're not going to always know. We're not going to always be able to overcome. We're not going to be always able to face them head on, but it's only by having a relationship with God that we're able to get through those things. Now, there will be times where there'll be people that will be able to help us in situations. They'll be able to give us insight and advice into how we're supposed to go. But ultimately, there are going to be things that even they don't know. There are going to be people that we're not going to always be able to reach out to. And when those things happen and when those times lead us to no one else, we have to go to God, because he will give us all the solution. And that is just one of the many benefits of having a relationship with him, man. So I guess with that being said, and to sum up this episode, going into 2022, just know that you can do each and everything, but above all else, you may need somebody to direct you and guide you to where it is that you need to go. And that's what's so important about God, because having him as your father, having him as somebody who can teach you and direct you and show you where you're supposed to go, having somebody that's always watching over you and protecting you from the things that come, you'll be able to achieve anything that you set your heart to achieve. You just have to understand and know that if it's for him, and especially the things that he's leading you to do, that you can't be stopped. So when struggles and things like that come, you'll be able to overcome them. You'll be able to look at them with confidence, knowing that they will never stop you from doing the stuff that you're supposed to do. But I guess with that being said, everyone, I appreciate you all for tuning in. Once again, I wish you all a Merry Christmas, and I hope that you got something, if anything, out of this episode. Because as I said before, I'm so happy. I'm overwhelmed with joy. I'm so appreciative of everything that has happened this year, man. And I truly cannot wait for the blessings and the joy and all of the challenges even that 2022 will bring. And it's going to be a beautiful year, man. And I truly pray and hope that you all have an incredible year. But let's go into this together. I love each and every one of you, and I will talk to you all next week. All right, my name is Brian Boyd. Y'all take care. Merry Christmas. Peace. Hey everyone, Brian here once again. Thank you so much for tuning in to Grounded. If these messages have been a blessing to you, please consider donating at thegroundedpodcast.com/donate. Furthermore, if you're looking for books and journals and other resources that will help improve your life, business, and relationships, please be sure to check those out at thegroundedpodcast.com/store. As always, it's been a blessing. I truly love each and every one of you, and I truly hope to see you all once again very soon. All right.